XRP, we start with 1 hour chart. Just want to give a quick update. If you refer to our analysis in my last video, we mentioned we can expect to get the correction. And this is what we get. Right now, we're looking for trade because when the price was within this move, we mentioned the only way to look for trade, we trade based on the lower time frame and small flags. All right. And we mentioned we need to get a big correction. And now we're looking at this. Anyway, we start with higher time frame. We want to see what we have based on higher time frame. If we move to daily chart, if we refer to our analysis, since the price was within this move exactly, we mentioned actually the price was within this move. We mentioned with the breakout of 0.67 following by 0.75, we can expect the price to for continuation, and this is what we get. That this is the things we mentioned, and beside that, we mentioned that after that, we cannot expect the price to reverse to drop to 0.42. We can expect to get the big correction. Okay, and this is what we get. That's why when the price was within this move, I was keep mentioning that we can get the correction, bigger correction for continuation. All right. Anyway, now we want to see whether we can put this one in relative to this for running flat or not. Okay, the way they are forming is simply because of what we get here is not what we have been looking for, but still we can consider as a running flat. What I want to say is that from now any trade setup for buy, we can take it. It doesn't mean the price can continue from here. May this one the price can be within the consolidation for longer time, but any buy setup from now we can look for buy in case this is the start of the up move. Okay, anyway, this is what we have been looking for, running flat, and right now we get it. And now we want to see how we can look for trade. And even if we move to forward chart, we mentioned if we get any correction, we can look for buy. Now the things is, we get expecting to get the bigger correction here. Any trade setup for buy, we will take the trade. Okay, and then we see how we can manage it. All right, if we get any trade from here, either from this correction or even turn to a bigger correction, all right, with the breakout of the previous top, which is this one, 1.54. Okay, when the price we start to manage, and the things is when price tag 1.61, this is where we have to at least move our stop loss to break even. And what we're looking for the continuation is a short move, similar to what we get here, not the corrective. If we see the price is moving as a corrective, I mean, we should take out the trade. All right, and if we see there is a continuation when the price tag 1.79, this is where we move our stop loss to book some profits, which we move our stop loss to 1.61. Okay, and if this one turns to a bigger correction, any trade setup, it can give us better continuation. All right, and as long as this one still, we can expect, as I mentioned, we can expect this one to turn to a bigger correction. All right, and as long as this, I mean, if this one turned to a bigger correction, as long as this one haven't retest 1.148, we can look for buying. This is the reasons I put 3 levels here. Okay, if this one turned to a bigger correction, the first level I'm looking for 1.34 following by 1.268. All right, that's mean if the correction turned to a deeper correction from this any levels, if it takes any reversal, I will look for buying. It doesn't mean the price have to drop to these levels before we look for buy. I mentioned if this one turned to a deeper correction, I will look at these levels. All right, anyway, any trade setup from now for buy, either from this correction, or the best things is if this one turned to a deeper correction, we will take the trade. All right, and I prefer to wait for another a few hours to see how big this correction, how complex can be. Right, and how about if the price continues sharply from here, either by having entry above this, but right now having entry above this can be quite risky. That's why we prefer at least we get one more drop, at least price drop to 1.34. This is the best. It doesn't mean it have to. Okay, and the another option, if the price continue from here, the only way we can look for the flat. All right, and even if he wants to have entry above this, maybe put the entry above a bit higher, which is even if we put a bit higher, because right now if he wants to put it will be 1.47 because this is the top. Maybe we can put a bit higher, 1.49 or 1.5. All right, if we want to have entry. But if this one turned to deeper, then we can easily have entry above this. This is the reason is we don't want the price tag and drop. Okay, But anyway, it depends on the traders how they can look for trade. Depends on the strategy they look for. But for right now, this is how we can look for trade. But if we get any sharp move with the flag, this is where we need to see the whether we need to look for the up move or not. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean the price have to continue from here. Technically, we're looking for that, but anytimes it can change, because even in my last analysis we mentioned me this one tend to be a correction. We are not looking for the down move, but if we see any sharp down with the flag, this is where we should look into the overall structure, and also we don't look for buy at that time. Okay, the reason is I want to mention about I mentioned about this. We should know that the structure anytimes can change, but right now any trade setup for buy, we look for trade and we're looking for continuation. Anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.